Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the A-Gap Podcast. And now, your host, Colby.
Ladies Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the A-Gap Podcast. Today is September 6th. It is a Tuesday, and boys, football is finally here. Thursday night football, we're getting kicked off. Today is our Pick'ems show. We're going to give you all of our picks for week 1. I got to ask you boys, how's Labor Day? We'll make that quick, and then we're going to explain the new format for the Pick'ems to everybody that doesn't know yet, and we're going to get into the show.
I drank a lot this weekend with 2 of the 3 of you.
That is fair. We were in South Lake Tahoe on a fun bachelor party, which was an absolute blast. So I'm definitely rocking some LaCroix today. I'm not taking it all the way down. My liver still needs a break. Appreciate you, Kevin Brobin, for the sub as always. Thanks for hanging out, brother. But yeah, fun weekend hanging out in South Lake. It was a good time with the boys. Talked a lot of football, a lot of fantasy.
Way too much football.
Like it was so funny because our girlfriends were like, "Are you guys hitting on girls?" And it was like, "Nope, we're literally going to the CVS and buying Pokemon cards and talking about sports." Those are the things that we did. And some of us lost some money, some of us won some money gambling. So it was a fun weekend though.
Yeah, definitely a highlight sitting in the little sports bar betting on some college football. That's a highlight there. So definitely getting more involved now that football season is here. You can feel the vibe. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
And Colby finally won the war because we all sat in a room and bet on sports together all day basically. And so we all now are into it. Yeah.
Well, it was kind of fun being like the sports betting Sherpa and explaining what a line was, what money line was, what the parlays meant. Like it was fun to kind of educate everybody. However, I may have just made the house a lot of money because now I think there are now 4 or 5 more guys that are going to be betting this year for fun. So, but it's good for the show too, because we're going to talk lines today. We're going to dive into everything week 1 and kind of tell people if we got any mortal locks or not. It'll be fun to talk about. So, Matt, did you do anything noteworthy this weekend?
Yeah, didn't really booze much, but I
Smart man.
a nice little peak on the Wasatch Front called Pfeiffer Horn. That was a fun little hike.
Oh, beautiful.
And yeah, just stay out of the heat, watched a lot of football. Did a little boozing on Sunday, but feeling pretty fresh.
Good, dude.
Nice.
Ready for week 1.
See, smart man, you're going to be the one that makes all the right picks. We're all still a little foggy brained and try and do our best. Dude. Try and do our best with week 1.
Hey, Matt, with that picture in the group chat motivated me, man. I looked at that wing and I was like, never again. No, thank you. So I'm motivated to not have to do this hot sauce.
That was legendary.
So. Oh yeah, I will say. So I wanted to go into the. So let me explain. Let's get into it. So what we're going to be doing for those of you that have not heard yet. So we're going to be doing a slightly new format to the show for the NFL season. So we're going to do 1 long marathon stream on Tuesdays, same time, 7 p.m., potentially 6. We'll talk about it, but just stick around Tuesday nights. And we're going to basically do a 2-hour stream at least where we do the first hour is going to be an entire recap of the previous week's games. And then we're going to take a quick 5-minute break and then cut it. And then that'll be the podcast that'll be released on Wednesday mornings. And then what's going to happen is the second half of the show, we're going to do the Pick'em show. So this portion that you're going to see that we're doing today is the portion that will typically be posted on probably Thursday morning before the Thursday night football game so that we can get all dialed in for a night of football. So that's going to be the new format going on through the NFL season. Put a little caveat in there though, because we're going to be making our picks and we're actually going to track them. Another reminder, if you guys want to compete with us in the Pick'ems, we have a pool that every listener, every stranger, every friend, mom, parent, dad,
everybody
whatever,
on earth,
everyone on earth can join this Pick'em pool. So if you want to have fun, it's free. We're trying to get a bunch of people in and see either if we're the smartest or if chat is the smartest. It'll be very fun to play. So check that out. It's all over our Twitter. And I'm even going to probably track down the link to share it in chat as this show goes on today. Drew, there we go. Hey, boys, how do I get in that pool? I'm going to get you a link in a minute as soon as I'm done explaining the rest of this. So what we're going to do for the picks, too, for the 4 of us have all agreed, the loser of every single week will have to take, John's holding it up right there, Da Bomb Ground Zero Hot Sauce. coming in at a whopping 320,000 Scoville units, I believe. So we will be taking a small little dab, probably a drop or two. We got to all figure out how much we're taking. Definitely not a teaspoon, I will say that.
What happens if we top?
The pain will be there.
The pain will be there, and we're going to take it before we make our picks for the following week. So that second half of the show, someone will literally be coming in hot. That's how we're going to start the episode, is someone's going to be doing the hot sauce, and we're going to go into the pick'em. So it is going to be wild.
What happens in the event of a tie?
Literally coming in hot, but just, taking hot sauce.
Yeah, a lot of hot sauce in the mouth. It will be intense. And I will say I tried a little bit of it. I wanted to come in blind, but Camille wanted to try it, and I had to just give it a little. I just licked like the side because I gave her a drip, and there was some excess. Licked it. Holy shit, boys! It is hot, and it doesn't matter if you've tried it once. If you tried it 100 times, it's gonna fucking hurt. So, a lot of stakes in the game this season. So, gonna be fun. It's gonna be a blast. I'll say, let me get this link for Drew, and then we're gonna hop right into it. Boys, you guys want to talk about maybe some of your hot sauce experience and maybe set the ground rules for who might be better or worse at this? Yeah, please.
I think there's a real good chance that two people are going to tie for last between the four of us. What happens in the event of a tie?
So we had mentioned that both people will be doing it. I actually think it would be funnier if we do one of two things. This could be a fun way to bring the coin back into play that we used last season to make picks, where we flip a coin, or there's
a terrible idea.
Or there's an online system that like spins a wheel, and basically we could give each person like 3 slots on the wheel that are alternating. You spin the wheel, whoever it lands on then has to do the hot sauce. What do you guys think of those ideas?
We could also put it to a vote. I love the idea of the coin.
Deal.
I like the coin.
What if we do a trivia question?
Ooh, that's a good one too. I love that. And then you have to like buzz in, like you gotta like raise your hand on Zoom or some shit to buzz in.
Ooh, yeah, we can figure it out.
Or we go back and forth, and you get asked one individual question, and if you fail, the next person has to answer it correctly, and then you.
We do like what we did for that one where you had to name a sport, and everybody froze.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Is Kevin Kevin's here, right? Kevin, next production meeting, can we set aside some time for this? This is something that we're gonna have to iron out. So
yeah, we might have to take this offline. We might have to take it offline.
Kevin, can you let's just schedule some time?
What are you talking about? Producer Kevin hasn't been to a meeting in fucking 15 years.
I didn't want to put him on blast, but just as long as he's setting the schedule, we'll be all right.
We'll put a pin in it.
Hot sauce experience. I mean, Matt, you and I have had the little brother to this sauce, correct?
Yes, sir.
Am I correct in saying that?
You are correct. The classic, the bomb.
And I was going to say, Colby's right. I mean, I've had it once, and the one thing I can say is like, I've never had heat that gets hotter. So it's one of those things. It's just going to be an experience. I'm actually excited to see how this goes, but man, the pain is a coming. Pain train's a coming.
It's miserable. It's going to be brutal. Experiencing it the other day, I don't want to lose. Nobody wants to lose. So we're going to be on it.
No more this season. No more contrarian picks. We're getting real.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys my example of that one later. Absolutely.
I think we might have a contrarian pick or two, but it's like something we actually believe in a little bit. So we'll see.
I'm already making one this week, so
same.
Let's go.
We probably all have one. Let's have a little fun too, boys. All right, so I did put the link in the chat if you guys wanted to join the Pick'em pool. And if you are just a listener and not catching us live, we're going to be using a website called runyourpool.com. And then you can actually search for leagues there. Our league is called A-Gap Weekly Pick'ems Contest. Once again, that's A-Gap Weekly Pick'ems Contest. So sign up, come hang out with us. Let's make some picks. Let's have a season, boys. Let's have a hell of a season.
Let's go.
Let's see. Kevin Brobin saying on the phone with the Podcasters Union to determine the legal/medical repercussions of, quote, coming in hot.
This is why we have him, Kevin.
Exactly. He's doing
Thank
the
God
research.
He's there,
He's doing the research. Alrighty, boys. We ready to make some picks?
Let's go. Let's get it.
Let's go. Week 1 NFL season. You know where we're going to start. We're going to start with Thursday night football coming up in 2 days. The Bills versus the Rams in SoFi Stadium. So our Pick'ems League, we're going to be just doing straight Pick'ems, moneyline Pick'ems, but we are going to talk a little bit about spreads and betting. So In this game, the Bills are actually favored by 2.5 points. The Rams are obviously going to be getting 2.5 points. The money line for the Rams would be plus 115, and the over-under is 52. So I'm just going to send it around the horn. Who wants to go first?
I'll start.
All right, deal.
I'm going Bills, of course. Maybe it's just because I hate the Rams and Matty Stafford's got a noodle arm that's fucking half broken and no one's willing to admit it. But we all picked the Bills to win it all. Well, we didn't. But most people say the Bills are going to win it all. So I think they're coming hot, and Josh Allen is going to make the Rams look bad. That's what I hope, and that's what I believe to be true.
All right. I love it. I do want to say before we get all dialed in, you guys are allowed to edit your picks before this, but once we lock them in on the pod, they're locked in. No changing your picks, boys. No changing your picks.
Deal.
Even if we're all taking the same. Reason I say that, because I'm also taking the Buffalo Bills. Basically for the same reasons Tom said. They're favorites in the AFC. A lot of people have the Rams high in the NFC, but I think the Rams, it's that little Super Bowl hangover. Buffalo's hungry this year. They want it. Josh Allen is obviously electric. There are questions about Matthew Stafford's ability to continue to play with the shoulder. So I'm going Buffalo. I'm taking the favorite.
I'm going Buffalo too. I watched yesterday on NFL Network. I watched the Chiefs-Bills playoff game again, and I'm just so excited about the Josh Allen, Gabe Davis connection. That was epic. I think the Rams are going to take a little step back this year, a little Super Bowl hangover. And I also think that, sorry, I have to nominate a player for my draft, but I also think that I'm doing digs, but I also think that it's going to be loud in SoFi for the Rams on offense. I think there's going to be more Bills fans there than Rams fans.
Ooh, I like that.
I love
Maybe
that.
a little bold on week 1, but still, let's go.
Still a fair bet.
Circle the wagons. Bills are going to the Super Bowl.
Oh,
I was going to say, speaking of Super Bowl,
we've done our picks.
Speaking of Super Bowl, it's one of those things where it's kind of cool that on a Thursday night we could see a potential Super Bowl, arguably a Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah,
very, very cool insight into the season.
Good job, Roger.
I think that a big thing for me is that Stafford was 3-4 last year when he got sacked 2 or more times. Rams lose 2 pretty key offensive linemen, and the Bills bring in, Von Miller, and already have a front 7 that's pretty elite. They're going to compete for a top 3 defense, I believe, this year. I definitely am going Bills with the rest of you guys on this one. I think that really the only thing is the lore behind Sean McVay. He's 5-0 in week 1 since he started, and the Super Bowl winner is 14-2 in week 1 games since something like 2004 or something like that. But I think for everything you guys said, Bills are going to take this game.
All right, we're off to
I'm
a
kind
running
of
start.
stoked to see how A-Rob fits in the Rams offense, though.
Me too.
That's true.
I'm an A-Rob truther. You guys know how much I love that guy. Hate that he's on the Rams, but could he be a top 10 receiver in fantasy? Could he?
Well, the thing there too is that the Bills are going to be starting they're going to be starting a rookie at corner in Kaiir Elam, and then they're going to be starting a second-year guy in Dane Jackson. So the cornerback position very thin right now for the Bills because Tre'Davious White is he's out. Or I'm sorry, he's playing safety, but secondary thin right now for the Bills. So I think this could be one of those things where, he's been in the desert for a long time as far as quarterbacks are concerned, and now he actually has somebody who's a legit top quarterback. So I'm interested in that matchup as well.
Perfect. I love that we're all taking the Bills. No hot sauce being spread around unless we're all doing it. All doing it.
Yeah, what if we all the same?
Come on.
There's gonna be some disparity. I'm
same old
sure
sorry ass Rams.
That'll
always be a saying, even if they win multiple bowls.
Fuck yeah. And hey, you know what? I'm down to have a 3-way coin toss. After week 1, there's gonna be some ties, but that's one thing we got to learn is how to make sure we're sorting per week as well. All right. Next game, we're moving on. We're going to be going to the Meadowlands. We got the Ravens versus the Jets. The Ravens are obviously a 7-point favorite here. If you wanted to take Jets money line, that's going to get you plus 255. And the over-under is 44.5. I guess I could ask you guys if you wanted to bet on the last game, get into some Thursday action. I'm going to wait till Sunday.
I would take the spread.
Yeah, there
I'd
you
take
go.
the under on Thursday. 52 seems like a lot. I know it's supposed to be a bunch of offense, but Those Thursday night games can sometimes it's going to be an offensive power game, and nope, just defensive game.
Some people bet the board week 1 unders too. I've heard that as a strategy. Is it typically wins, so you'll come out positive. And then I also heard another thing that if the spread is more than 14 points, you take the under, and it hits I think almost 70% of the time. So there's another tip for you. But all right, let's talk Ravens Jets. This is, I feel like, kind of one of those raise your hand if you're taking the Jets. Bueller. Yeah, I think we're all going to be taking Baltimore.
I do want to point out because I'm not taking the Jets, so I was waiting for that to be over. But Joe Flacco in New York, week 1 against his old team with the running back situation with the Baltimore Ravens. They're not necessarily, I guess they sometimes are an early team, but still, Joe Flacco might have a inspired game in week 1, and Jets fans go wild. I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not making that my pick because there's hot sauce on the board now, but wouldn't be shocked.
Hey,
I don't know. Revenge game. I think you should.
Revenge game.
I don't know.
Playmakers on both sides of the ball there, Tom. Elijah Moore, Sauce Gardner, baby.
Garrett Wilson.
If I hot sauce over this, though.
Michael Carter.
We got playmakers, bro.
Your boy, CJ Uzama.
My boy.
Whose
boy is that?
The love-hate relationship that Tom has with CJ Uzama.
Nah, dude, I like Lamar more. I'm on the screen right now to switch my pick. I can't do it.
Put Tom down as
you guys almost
preferring
got me.
Lamar Jackson over Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
There we go. Put it on
Full
record.
take.
Put it on record. Yeah. We're going to keep you accountable on that, Tom. All right. End of the season, we're reviewing the stats.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that one later. That's definitely not going to happen.
Yeah, Baltimore has won the last 9 meetings against the Jets, and that streak will continue, I believe. Prove it mode for Lamar. He's coming out. He's hungry, so it's going to be fun to watch.
I got an ignored unrequested. Would you guys rather start Amon-Ra St. Brown or Rashad Bateman? Obviously, the Lions.
Amon-Ra.
Yeah,
Bateman for me. For me.
Oh yeah, because you're a Birds guy. They're playing the Philly this week.
I think Amon-Ra is going to be Jared Goff's safety blanket in the slot.
I agree. He was last year too. So
yep.
I think he's going to be legit this year. All right, let's move on to the next one. We're going to roll through these boys. Lightning round. Next, we're going to go to Carolina, where we got the Browns taking on the Panthers. The Browns are going to get 2.5 points here. It is the Baker Mayfield revenge game. If you want the Browns money line, it's going to be plus 120. The over-under is set at 41.5. I'll go ahead and start us off here. I am buying into the Baker Mayfield revenge game. I am going to take Carolina. I know they are the favorite. I actually didn't expect that when I went in to go check the lines. I thought 100% Cleveland was going to be the favorite, but I'm shocked. I guess Carolina at home, new quarterback, revenge game. Vegas knows what's going on. So I'm going Carolina. I like the team that he's got around him. I like, obviously, CMC's healthy. If he can probably stay healthy through this game, I think they're going to have a pretty good chance of winning.
Yeah, I'm with you. I bought a Baker Mayfield shirt. Hasn't arrived yet, so I'll wear it next week on the pod.
Let's go.
Baker shirt.
Let's
I'm
go.
on board with them this year. I mean, I like what they did. They got Chenault. They got DJ Moore, who I think is going to get talked about as one of the better receivers in this game by the end of the year.
Nice.
And they got Robbie Anderson, who's that's pretty good for a third receiver, and CMC. And I think there's just bad vibes around the Browns all around. Watch their preseason games. Brissett looked just slow. They looked lethargic. I mean, obviously they didn't play a lot of starters, but give me the Carolina Panthers.
There it is.
Yeah, baby. It is growling season. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, Matt touched on the offense. I think I can touch on Carolina's defense real fast, just because they kind of go quiet most of the year, but this unit that they have has the potential for top 10. Really, I mean, Xavier Woods, Jeremy Chin in the secondary. There's a lot of hype about CJ Henderson right now. They say that he could start to play at like elite levels. We're talking Revis Island levels. So a lot of buzz around him. Shaq Thompson always in the depoy talk towards the end of the year. So this defensive unit is super sound. Not to take anything away from Jacoby Brissett, obviously with the Colts 5-2 at the start of last season when he played. But I really think that this is going to be a Baker revenge game. I think that there's a lot to buy into that. And so give me the Panthers.
I as well am taking the Panthers. I'm starting to get worried we're all gonna have the same pick the whole time.
Promise you we won't after this next one. I promise.
We'll have a
you.
hot sauce wheel.
Baker swag against his old team. He's so pissed off. I think the whole world is finally on Baker's side for this week 1 matchup.
Said
It's
he's gonna
true.
fuck him up.
I
said
love
it.
that quote, dude. That's fucking incredible. That's just Baker being Baker. And when he's got like that chip on his shoulder, he usually plays way better. So I think we're all excited to see it. All right, let's move on to the next one, John. I'm excited to hear your pick on this one.
This is crazy.
We got the Indianapolis Colts heading down to Houston to take on John's Texans. The Texans are going to get 7 points in this game. Their money line is going to be plus 265. The over-under is set at 46.5. John, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Sure, happy to. I was listening to a lot of podcasts leading up to this, and I think that the consensus I got is that there's a lot of people that are starting to buy into the hype around the Texans. You look at Davis Mills over his last 7 games, he was 11 TDs, 3 interceptions. He had 3 300-yard games. Dameon Pierce has had a crazy training camp so far, as well as the preseason. There's a lot of hype around him. Brandon Cooks, still a viable receiver. Nico Collins is going to try and step into a much bigger role this year. It's a young secondary. I understand. Petrie and Stingley are going to get that opportunity to face, some pretty decent talent in the NFL this year, or right off the get, Colts get much better with Matt Ryan, I believe, under center. Their defense is still going to be super sound. It's still going to be touted as probably one of the top defensive units in the NFL. But it's a passion pick, baby. And I'm taking the Texans week 1
Let's go.
to beat the Colts. So
Damn.
I'm ride or die right now, man. I'm really high on this Texans team, and there is actual genuine hype around them. So give me the Texans.
All right. Apparently my cat loves your pick. She just hopped up into my lap.
Hey, Disco likes it. I'll take it as a good omen.
There
I'm
you
all
go.
about it.
There you go. I am going to be doing the opposite. I like Matt Ryan. I like Matt Ryan in his debut game. Yes, they are on the road. However, I think Matt Ryan knows how to play Houston pretty well. I don't know. I think they've played him pretty damn well, and he's going to air the ball out, and they're just going to go nuts, and they're going to really try and start off hot. Obviously, you got Frank Reich, offensive coach, going on the play calling side. All right, my cat is being too crazy. Had to drop her off. Sorry about that, boys. But yeah, I'm going to be taking Indy.
Go ahead, Matt.
I'm taking Houston. I think it's going to take a little bit.
Wow.
I think the Colts will win the division. I think it'll be a slugfest. I think I'm going to take the under on this one as well. But dude, the Houston, I said in our group chat, I think they're building something beyond our comprehension. They just got OJ Howard. They keep breaking up with Marlon Mack and bringing him back. I like Cooks. Cooks is still a really good receiver.
What about Lovie Smith? Did anyone talk about the coach? I feel like
Lovie Smith,
talk about
great
Lovie
coach.
Smith,
Davis Mills would have been a top 10 pick in last year's draft. He's not a meme. He's a real legit quarterback. Give me the fucking Houston Texans. Let's go.
Wow.
Good for you, dude. I'm taking the Colts because they're a way better team. But of all the games, I don't really hate the Texans money line plus 265. If I had to bet on a couple of these, I wouldn't hate that one at all. That's the one that I'm, hung over on Sunday morning at the casino, fucking throwing $30 on for sure. I can see myself buying into that,
Absolutely. And if you're not trying to go full risk, you can get 7 points. I mean, if you think they're going to keep it close, 7 points could still be a great win there. Over under at 46.5. That just feels right. I'm not really on either side of that, to be honest, but I do like Texans plus 7. All right, moving on. Next, we have 2 teams that really need to find an identity here. We got the Jags versus the Commanders. This is going to be in Washington. The Jags are going to be getting 2.5 points. Their money line is going to be only plus 120, which is a little surprising. And the over-under is going to be set at 44 even. So
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna
right.
start here.
show me what you got.
I won't do this a lot this season, I hope, but I'm going with goddamn Carson Wentz and the Commanders this week. And pretty much the only reason I feel like it's 2.5, so it's close to a pick 'em, but not really. Like, it's Ron Rivera. I feel like I love Doug Peterson. I think he's a great head coach, but his very first game with this entire team, I feel like I give it to Ron Rivera, who's been building something with his coaching staff over the last couple seasons. Wentz, he'll probably just make sure he stays right within the lanes. So I'm give me the Commanders.
So I mean, Doug Peterson going against Carson Wentz, I think is good for
Great
Doug
TV,
Peterson.
dude.
It's going to be good TV. I'm actually really interested in this matchup. Stoked to watch it. But I think Jacksonville has something to prove, man. I'm taking the Jaguars.
Oh
Ooh,
shit! Here we go.
okay.
Coming in, beating down the Commandos. And I think Travis Etienne will have a nice debut. James Robinson suiting up week 1. I hope they slow play it with him, but I think Trevor's going to show out a little bit. So I'll take the Jaguars. Let's go.
Yeah, Tom, you spoke about pieces in place, and I feel like the Jags went out and did some things to get some guys at the right positions. Christian Kirk comes in, Darius Williams at corner, and then Brandon Scherf comes in at guard. One thing for me is I'm still a little geeked out about the Commanders defense. Last year they returned pretty much the same defense that we touted them
Chase
last
Young
year.
is back.
He's out, I'm pretty sure, for this
Question mark?
first game. But even still, without him, they've still got Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen, Darren Payne. All of those dudes had 5 or more sacks last year. But this is also a defensive unit that gave up 26 points. So I agree with Matt. Trevor Lawrence has something to prove, and I think the Jags go ahead and take this one. So give me the Jags.
Oh no, I've got some kind of breaking news here.
Okay, what do you got?
Oh god, Chase Young reportedly re-aggravated knee injury at Von Miller's pass rushing camp 49 minutes ago.
Oh,
Jordan Schultz
my
retweeted it
God.
28 minutes ago and said this is absolutely false, according to multiple sources.
Oh,
really?
okay.
Yeah, I hope they
all
get
right.
a little Twitter war about it, but Jordan Schultz
Mm.
says he'll be back by week 5.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Chase Young has been with the Commanders since camp opened in late July. Sources tell me no setbacks. He's just working back from the knee injury last November.
Well, if he's going to be back, I mean, even still, I get it. Like, highly touted defense still looks great on paper, but this was the same defense last year, and they gave up 26 points a game. So it's just, for me, I think, like Matt said, Jags have something to prove. I'll take Peterson against Wentz any day of the week. You never bet on Carson Wentz. You never do. So give me the Jags.
I do really like Scary Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson. That was a 1-2. That is pretty nice.
Yep.
Scary Terry's sick. Sucks that he has Carson Wentz throwing
Got
to him.
a lot of shares.
This is the
in,
best
Scary
quarterback
Terry.
Scary Terry's ever had. He could be a top 5 receiver this year.
He could be nuts this year.
Oh man, I'm doing some things.
But just not in week 1. Week 1's always weird.
Not week 1.
All right.
All right. Tom and I are kind of in the same boat here. I'm going to take Washington Commanders. So we are 2-2 split.
The other two are doing hot sauce.
Yeah, exactly. We might all have 2-2 separated throughout. It'll be funny to see how the rest of this goes. But yeah, if Chase Young does play, I think Washington has a good chance. If he doesn't, I don't know. I still think they'll be able to squeeze one out on Jacksonville. It's week 1. I know Jacksonville wants to come out and win and kind of get away from their past, but as I think I kind of agree with Tom that Ron Rivera is just going to have a good plan and know kind of what to do, right? Peterson's been in the league long enough. He knows what that team's capable of, and I think he'll have a good plan to try and stop him. So, all right.
Peterson did
Rivera,
not always
hot
do that
seat.
great against.
Hot seat or not?
Maybe. I don't know, man. I hope not. That would be the worst thing. I
think
wouldn't be
it's
shocked.
that
though.
season. I don't think he'll survive if they don't make playoffs.
I
Probably true.
guess. At least he wants to be there. Jesus Christ.
Great
If
guy,
you're-
great coach, but
But if you're staring down some of these other guys that are going to be coming up available, I know that for Niners fans, we're always talking about D'Amico Ryan is going to be available. There's a lot of new head coaching prospects that are going to be on the horizon. So it could be a hot seat year for Rivera if they don't right the ship. Especially you have a unit that's supposed to be a top 10 defense, and now, like Matt said, the best offense you've seen with the best quarterback you've seen in a long while. So they've got to at least get into the playoffs, I would assume, for him to keep his job.
Yeah, I think it's if they have a season like the Colts did, where they're like one game out and they lose. Granted, I guess the Colts lost 3 in a row, to miss out, which is pretty fucked by them. I
I
think
did pick
there's
Commanders
potential
to
there.
win, to make playoffs.
Oh, that's right. You did take them. So, all right, you're a big
Mhm.
Commanders guy. You're a big wins guy this year.
I feel bad for Matthew Berry more than anything.
Fair. All right, I'm gonna address a couple of things in the chat. Travis Green said, "Who is for sure winning this week? I'm trying to hit a nasty 4-leg parlay." That's a little bit of an inside joke from this weekend. Travis made a 4-leg parlay that he put $20 on. It hit, netted him $18.60, baby. He took some massive favorites, but it hit. So it's fun to hit a 4-leg
Oh.
parlay. Travis, if I was you, I mean, we'll talk a little bit about it, but there's some that we already like. Failgank says he does miss Big Dick Nick Foles. Don't we all? Don't we all? We all miss BDN.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. BDN. All right, moving on. We are going to an AFC East matchup down in Miami. We're going to have the Patriots taking on the Dolphins. The Patriots are going to get 3.5 points on the road. Their money line is set at 160. The over/under is set at 46.5.
Can I start?
Yes, you
Didn't
may.
you just
Please.
start?
You did. Tom
So-
started like 4 times, but it's fine. You're good.
Damn.
You're good.
Well, now I'm on the spot. Bill Belichick is one hell of a coach. So, Bill Belichick versus this fucking stoner dude from fucking wherever, bruh. So for all those reasons, you know what? I'm taking the Dolphins. Fuck the Patriots.
Yeah.
This is it. Dolphins season. Patriots going to be bad this year. I believe. Go Dolphins. It's a
All right.
roller coaster of a
Same.
comedy.
I'm taking the Dolphins too. I'm stoked to watch Mike McDaniel's offense this year. You got so much speed. Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, Cedric Wilson. Gesicki, I don't know if he might end up in the doghouse since he can't block. But I think they're just going to bring speed. And for whatever reason, the Patriots seemed like they were just in dire straits all preseason. I know preseason doesn't mean a ton, but I like Mike McDaniel. Remember in like 2004 when the Dolphins brought the Wildcat in and just blew Bill Belichick's mind?
Yes.
And
Yes.
he couldn't beat them. It was like one time, and then the next time they dominated. But I think McDaniel's going to bring some interesting run concepts, a la when the Niners beat them in 2020, with some good run concepts and an injured Jimmy G. So give me the Dolphins. Let's go. I'm all in on them this year. I'm stoked.
Yeah, you're a big Dolphins guy. We've
Yeah.
been talking a lot about it, but they're going to be fun.
Did you pick them to win the division? I think you did.
Couldn't. No. I got him as a wild
Bills.
card.
Yeah, you got to take
Sorry,
the Bills.
yeah.
Got to take the
Bills.
Bills.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be fun to watch. That's why I am also taking the Dolphins, boys.
Oh, here we
Nobody
go.
wants to root for the Patriots. Come on. We got to support our boy Mike McDaniel. We got to support the boys in teal, or actually, they're probably going to be in the all whites, which the whitest jerseys of all time. We've covered that. I cannot wait to watch this team run all over the Patriots defense. And I might eat my words, but I'm taking them. And -3.5, that seems pretty attractive to me as well. Honestly, they're at home. It's a debut game. Let's go for it. I'm not going to make it a mortal lock, but a slight suggestion. -3.5. Love it. Sean, who you got?
I mean, like Matt had alluded to, it's, Patriots have had trouble this preseason when your starters go against, second team players. You have 7 drives and you only give 3 points. Like, that's kind of caused for some concern. Dolphins get better in blocking, to Matt's point as well. They, Connor Williams, Teron Armstead, they bolster the line, so Tua's going to have time. And the defense, again, I'm going to hit on defense again. 3rd highest pressure rate in the league, 28.5%. 7th in allowed QBR, 85. Jalen Phillips is a monster off the edge. He had 8.5 sacks last year. So the defense is nothing to turn your nose up at either. I think that this team is very well rounded, and it's going to be fun to watch. So give me the Dolphins as well.
There we go.
Damn, across the board, Patriots
What do, you,
haters.
what do you guys think about Tua this year? How's he going to do?
He's going to have to make some strides. Like when you have speed like Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, and that's going to be the focal point on your offense, them getting open and burning kids deep. I mean, you're going to have to make some big throws. And I know that that's been the memes out of training camp, is people coming back for balls and things being thrown short. So, but I think he can make the jump. And I think a big thing is McDaniel's coming in and being that innovative mind that understands the pieces around him and makes shit happen. So I think he takes the jump. I think he loves the offense. You've got speed everywhere. lest we forget, Maserati is now on the team too. So it's gonna be a fast offense. It's gonna be crazy to watch.
Yeah, I think Tua is going to be able to make the quick little tiny throws. He doesn't have a crazy arm strength, right? We've seen him even make like those corner routes that are floating, but he can throw a deep ball. It's just a floaty deep ball. He's not going to throw it on a rope. It's not going to be like Justin Herbert ripping a ball 35 yards down the field. But with that speed, I feel like in training camp, he's not used to that speed. He had Waddle, but he didn't really have a massive deep threat receiver. Now with Tyreek, he's got to learn, yeah, I got to put that ball 5 yards ahead of him. Right? Or 10 yards, 20 yards. I got to put that ball way ahead of him. So I think that was just kind of them getting on the same page, trying to figure out how much lead he needs to put on the ball. I think he'll be serviceable this year. I think the hate, yes, is a bit warranted, but I think he'll be just fine. And as John said, Mike McDaniel's going to find a way to make it work because he loves Tua. He's a big Tua believer, and that's obviously the narrative you need to have as a head coach. But support your guy, find the game plan for your guy. So I'm excited.
I agree. I think he just needs to be Jimmy G.
Yep,
like he doesn't have to make a bunch of big time throws. He just he has to put it on him. A ton of yak. He'll throw it deep occasionally, but he's pretty accurate. I'm sure they're actively looking for their next quarterback and trying to figure out who that is. But I think for the time being, they'll probably still be a pretty explosive offense.
Yep, agree 100%. All right, let's move on. We're going to be going down now to Atlanta, where the Saints are going to be taking on the Falcons. The Saints are going to be -5.5 on the road. So if you want to take the Falcons money line, you'd be looking at +190. Over under is set at 43 even. So a little divisional matchup here. A little some Southern boys. Matt, how about you start this one since Tom has been starting so often?
Oh man, this is probably the least exciting game on the slate in my opinion. But I'm going to take the Saints. Yeah, I just think the Falcons are going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. I don't know about Marcus. I think he's okay. Kyle Pitts is a really good receiver playing tight end. Stoked to watch Drake London. So, I mean, there's some pieces to Atlanta that's going to be fun to watch, but I think the Saints defense is just so damn good that I don't think they're going to score a ton of points. And yeah, give me Jameis. Love the guy.
You take the under, Matt, if I gun to your head?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Stoked to watch Chris Olave, though. See how he meshes in. Michael Thomas, we'll see what he's got left. And Kamara, probably not going to be suspended this year, so full go.
Jogging.
Do you guys think we're going to get a Desmond Ridder sighting in this game?
No.
I don't think so.
Not in week one.
Unless Marcus gets hurt.
Unless he gets hurt, or if it's like a blowout.
We have a Tyrod situation? Yikes.
That could be nuts. All right, I will go next. I'm also going to be taking the Saints. I don't think that's a big surprise. I'm sure it's a classic raise your hand if you're taking the Falcons, but Saints are just better. As Matt said, pretty much everything that I was going to say. Atlanta is not probably going to be great this year. They're kind of rebuilding. If you have Marcus Mariota as your starting quarterback in this league, you're rebuilding. So they obviously got their guy in the draft. They're going to kind of slowly do this. They're not going to try and just throw him out there and see what happens. So taking the Saints. Hooday.
Yeah, I'm also going to be taking the Saints. I think the big thing here is just that the Saints offense is going to be able to put up points on a suspect Atlanta defense. The Atlanta line is sneaky good. It's going to be interesting to watch Mariota play with a super young wide receiver core. But again, you have Kyle Pitts out there who's, tight end playing or wide receiver playing tight end, so can go and make some pretty athletic plays. But yeah, give me the Saints. I think that they're just going to be able to score on a pretty suspect defense.
I as well. I'm taking the Saints, of course. I'm looking for Jameis Winston to be maybe a top 5 QB this week, just this week.
There you go. Maybe a streaming option for fantasy.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah,
I like that. I think any quarterback going against the Falcons is a streaming option this year. I think that's probably going to be fair to say. I also really enjoy Saints -5.5. I think they're definitely going to cover that even on the road, and maybe even parlay it with the under as well, as Matt alluded to earlier.
I mean, we all know Jameis had that 30-30 season, but he also threw for 5,000 yards that year.
Yeah,
so he definitely can put up numbers.
That's the thing. He's not afraid to just throw it out there. And
taking some shots, dude.
Yep. Matt, I love you brought up Olave. I love that guy. Love him in deep in drafts. If you guys still have a draft to do, get on it.
You
Yeah.
think Jameis is gonna be less afraid to throw deep because now he doesn't have to see a mean look from Sean when he gets back to the bench? Kyle Allen's like a lot less intimidating, you know.
You have
Like
Trevor
like,
Simeon looking over his
yeah,
shoulder.
yeah, whatever. He's chilling, dude. He's gonna hug it deep.
At least he can see his coach on the sideline now that he got the LASIK surgery. So yeah, maybe
Ooh.
maybe he will be a little scared because he can actually see the expression on his coach's face. All right, Tom, I'm gonna ask you to kick us off on this one once again, but it's warranted. We got the Birds going down to Detroit to take on the Lions. Lions. Eagles are a 4-point favorite. The Lions money line is plus 170 over. So this is a weird one. So the over under is set at 49, but the odds are different. So the over is minus 105 and the under is minus 115. I might smell a rat here. I think maybe take the over. Fuck it. Just go for the over and say, let's see what happens. But I don't know. It just feels weird they split it that way.
The
100%.
Eagles defense, they should be this elite unit, and the Lions should be this quote unquote subpar offensive unit. But it's also week one. It's also the Eagles with this new team. We haven't put it all together yet. We have no idea. Dan Campbell and the Lions, maybe. But I'm taking Birds, of course. I think they're going to go into Detroit, take care of business. I would expect Detroit to at least score a couple of touchdowns, but nothing too crazy. They're going to maybe throw a couple shots, and Eagles are going to run out the clock. Boston Scott's going to end up with 2 touchdowns for some fucking reason. That's my prediction.
There we go. I love that. I'm also going to be taking the Birds. I got to support my boy Tom. Of course. I do love Detroit this year, though, and I think they're going to put up a bit of a fight. Look what they did week 1 against the Niners last year, where we thought we had the game sealed, and they went and made it a game. So I think they're not going to lay down. They're going to bite some kneecaps, and they're going to do what they can to keep this game close. If you're really thinking about it, maybe Lions plus 4. That doesn't seem like enough to really go after it, but maybe, yeah. I don't know if I'm going to bet on this one, but I think it's going to be close. But I'm taking the Birds.
Also taking the Birds. Like I said, you said I like the Lions this year too. I got them winning a wild card game with Jimmy G at the helm, but that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, baby.
So I think the Eagles are just the hype train is legit. They just bolstered the shit out of their defense through the draft and through acquisition. They're going to dominate the line of scrimmage on both sides, and I think they're going to score a ton of points this year. So pretty easy one. I think the Lions will have a good year, but the Birds are probably going to be at least a top 5 team in the whole NFC. Which is wide open, so could be higher.
Tom, who was it that you saw? Was it Mike Sims that had Eagles 1, Niners or Chris Sims?
Chris Sims had Eagles number 1 in the NFC.
Chris Sims had or at least NBC had the Niners and Eagles in the NFC Championship.
It's crazy. Our year, boys.
This is Tom's prediction, right?
Yep, that is exactly my prediction.
They've been watching A-Gap.
I think for all the reasons that you guys said, man. Yeah, right. Eagles added a lot of players on the defensive side in the right spots. Jordan Davis, obviously, with Fletcher Cox, is going to be crazy to watch. I don't know how many people are going to be able to run on that. James Bradbury in the secondary comes in. It's a great looking team. It's all eyes on Jalen Hurts now. You know, the pieces are there for a fully rounded team, and now it's going to be on him to produce. So I'm taking the Eagles for sure. And I'm super excited to watch them develop.
All right. So far, I've only got a few games separating us, boys. It's going to be a close week 1 for the Hot Sauce Gauntlet.
Jordan Mailata versus Aiden Hutchinson is going to be an electric battle on the left side. So Mailata's got a lot to deal with there, but he's supposed to be this all-pro caliber, tackle. So I think he wins the fight. Hutchinson gets 1 or 2, maybe.
Battle in the trenches, baby.
Tackles. There we go. Well, you would hope Hurts could scramble away from him quick enough.
Exactly. It's going to be at least 1 sack. I would say if the over-under is like 2.5, I'm taking way the under on Hutchinson's sacks. So.
All right. Fair. That's my Defensive Rookie of the Year bid, Tom. Watch out. All right. Next game, we got down in Cincinnati. We got the Steelers taking on the Bengals. The Steelers are going to get 6.5 points on the road against the former AFC Super Bowl representative. They also got a money line of plus 230. So a lot of money to be made there potentially if you believe in the Steel Jacket. Over under is at 44.5. John, how about you go ahead and start us off? I don't think you've started us off yet.
Happily. I think the biggest question mark for the Bengals last year was that offensive line. So what they do? They rehauled their entire right side of the line and got a new center. Alex Kappa, Ted Karras, La'el Collins. Really, I think they added the right pieces to make this defense electric. Last year, they were pretty, relatively cut and dry as far as Jamar Chase is going to run and get open, and they're going to throw the ball, and Joe Burrow's just going to make these throws anyway. So now, get in a little innovation, add a little spice to the offense. I think the Bengals are going to be one of those units that we're talking about all year. Pittsburgh D is going to Pittsburgh D. Like, they've been good, they're going to still be good, but I still give it to the Bengals this time around. So, give me the Bengals.
I agree. Yeah, I think the Bengals offense is going to be a juggernaut. The Pittsburgh D-line's probably going to get to Joe Burrow. That was obviously the biggest issue in the playoffs last year. He got knocked down like 78 times per game. And, that could be an issue this year, but they did bolster the offensive line. But I think, Super Bowl contender versus a team that was in the playoffs last year. It's like, I think they're pretty overmatched. Mitch Trubisky at QB. We'll see how that looks, but got to go Bengals here.
Once again, if you think it goes off the rails, do we see Kenny Pickett?
Yeah, do you think that'll be a short leash?
It's a super
Trubisky
blowout,
got
maybe.
voted captain, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh, there you go.
Can you change that mid-year or no?
I need to have it mid-game.
Yeah. Like,
Probably.
Is Mariota the captain for the Falcons?
I don't know. Some teams do it each game, and some do it for the season. But I'm sure, like, if you got a DUI or something, they might strip it. So I'm sure it can be changed during the year.
That's probably true.
Yeah, but that shows a lot about Mitch that they voted him a captain at least.
Maybe it's his year.
Or maybe it's not. I'm going to be taking the Bengals. I mean, no brainer. No brainer here. I don't need to really explain anymore why they went to the fucking Super Bowl. They're a great team. I got Bengals.
I'm also going Bengals.
Real big shockers there. All right. Maybe another big shocker here. 49ers versus the Bears going down to Soldier Field in Chicago. The Bears are going to get 7 points at home. Their money line is 250. Over under 41 points. Vegas not believing in Fields and Lance this week. Who you guys got?
Niners.
Niners.
Yeah, top 5 roster versus bottom 5 roster. Pretty easy pick. Been hyping
Very
him up
easy.
all season, but excited to see it finally happen. I'm excited to watch Justin Fields too. So it'll be a fun little quarterback matchup. But theoretically, like, this is a game that the 49ers should absolutely manhandle the Bears and take. And if they don't, it'll be concerning.
100%. I think if it's even close, 49ers Twitter will be on fire early in the morning. It will be noon and it will be on fire. It will be brutal. So looks like Phil Gang says Fields upset. Of course you do. We'll talk about the Packers game in a little bit. John, who are you taking?
Just because this podcast is so in tune with field conditions, I know that we are very aware of, grass conditions. I do want to point out that Soldier Field had 3 massive concerts leading up to this game in week 1, the last one wrapping last night. We're talking about Red Hot Chili Peps. We're talking about Rammstein. We're talking about Bad Bunny. So these are massive sellouts.
Bad Bunny.
So look for the turf conditions to be a little bit we're going to see what happens. I just wanted to bring that up. I'm definitely going Niners. There's no way I could
Yikes,
pick,
dude.
Bears D loses a bunch of pieces. And then obviously Niners have potentially a top 1 unit or the number 1 unit on defense. So give me the Niners, but I just want to give field conditions because I know that we want to deliver facts on this.
Dude,
So
that
do not like that.
scares me.
Yeah,
I hate
now
that.
very nervous.
Oh.
last concert wrapped, I believe, last night.
Was it
So,
Bad Bunny
dude,
last night?
I don't know.
'Cause
I believe
those
it
shows
was
are all
Rammstein.
selling out.
I believe
Okay.
it was Rammstein. So when Du Hast was hitting and everybody's jumping up and down, that field could not. That
Dude.
field took some punishment.
Actually, this is super coincidence, but I was on a discovery call for my work last week with a nurse practitioner at a plastic surgery clinic in Kentucky. And she goes, me and my boyfriend are going to Chicago for Labor Day weekend to see a concert. I'm like, that's cool. Who are you going to see? She's like, this band called Rammstein.
Oh God.
Like, oh,
I was like, oh man, I think way differently of you now. Like, rock on, let's go.
That's
hell
awesome.
yeah,
Good for you.
dude.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, she was going to Rage, so she added to that.
Damn.
Hey,
wow.
little known fact, dude, I would pay the money. I need to pay at least once to go see it because it's a production. They put so much money into their pyrotechnics and their light show and everything. It's a spectacle. It's not a rock show. It's a spectacle. So
Am I a
Well-
pussy for saying I'd be a little scared to go to that
you should
show?
be. No, you should be scared. You should be.
You're just being safe.
I'd be a little worried.
I feel like it'd be sick. Yeah, it sounds like way harder, like Trans-Siberian Orchestra, kind of with the way John is selling it. I'm into it.
It's an
Picture a lot of like
experience,
no shirts, a lot of leather, a lot of straps, a lot of
baby. A lot of leather.
colored contacts.
A lot of leather.
Bangs.
Lot of fire.
Not a lot
Fire.
of shampoo was used going up to the event.
All right. Well, that wraps up the first slate of the NFL's week 1. So those are all your morning games. For the afternoon games, we're going to get started by going to Minnesota, where the Packers are going to be taking on the Vikings. Seems like a lot of divisions obviously playing each other week 1, except for the next game. But
Not a lot of respect for the fucking Packers here.
no respect for the Packers. The Packers only a 1.5 point favorite on the road. The Vikings money line is at 105 and the over under is at 47. So I was actually I'll be honest, let me pull up my pick here. I'm pretty sure my pick is where is it? I'm taking the Minnesota Vikings. Fuck you,
Oh,
Tailgate
shit.
Wilson.
Oh,
Let's
shit.
go. Kirk Cousins is showing up. JJ is showing up. Thielen is showing up. Dalvin Cook, healthy, showing up. The Packers might get their shit kicked in a little bit here at home. If the momentum starts swinging their way, that crowd gets into it. Aaron Rodgers has not been very focused, it seems, this offseason. He's been doing a lot of podcasts, even in the last few weeks. So I think he's just he might not be ready for week 1. And I know he's a professional. It's fucking Aaron Rodgers, 2-time MVP. He'll probably be ready. But my instinct is just telling me Vikings here. So that's kind of my little crazier pick, even though it's a 1.5 point spread. I like the Vikings at home.
As do I. I'm taking the Vikes, too.
Hey, skull, baby.
Their
Let's
offense
go.
is going to be badass. I have no doubt about that. Their defense is either going to be a top 5 unit or a bottom 5 unit. I have no idea where they're
One
going
way
to
or
win.
the other.
But I'm really stoked to watch Thielen, obviously, and JJ. But I like KJ Osborne a lot. I think he's going to emerge this year too. And I think Dalvin, if he stays healthy. But if he doesn't, they still got Alexander Madison. Kirk Cousins is a very good regular season quarterback. And I think the Packers are going to be struggling to gel a little bit with their young receivers. I think it'll be a close game, but give me the Vikings.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Skull.
Skull boys. I'm right there with you.
Oh shit.
I think that Kevin O'Connell is what this offense needed. He's going to turn it up. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to utilize the pieces the way that we know that they should be utilized. To speak to the defense, I think that they still, like Matt said, have the potential to be top 5. A lot of good signings: Jordan Hicks, Zadarius Smith, Harrison Phillips, and then they draft a couple young corners. So, I mean, if you're Green Bay, your starting receiver core right now is Lazard, Watkins, and Randall Cobb. Really, I don't know vets versus rookies, but
Romeo Dobbs. Let's be fair a little bit.
well,
I mean, you're right on the depth chart, but
I was gonna say he's gonna be in there, and I understand that for sure. I get that. Young rookies, though. Young rookies. We're talking about unproven guys, and we're talking about a quarterback who has a history of not being able to really gel with young guys, who's already been outspoken about his young guys in the preseason. So we don't know. It's Aaron Rodgers, but we still don't know. Yeah, give me the Vikings still. I picked them as the North winners, and I think that they're going to run the North this year.
All right, Tom, tell us why you picked the
Well,
Packers.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the Packers. I think the Packers defense is supposed to be real fucking good. First off, it's supposed to be the strength of the 2 units of the Packers. Also, Aaron Rodgers last season had a really shitty first game of the year, and I just don't see him doing it 2 years in a row when they got destroyed in that first game. So I think he's a little more prepared for the first game. I don't think we're going to see a lot of those rookie receivers. I'm seeing touchdowns for Bobby Tonyan. We got a touchdown for Randall Cobb. And we got a touchdown for Alan Lazard. Packers go on to win by 6 points or more.
Randall Cobb touchdown. I love it.
Yeah, dude. Yep.
What about
Feeling
the AJ?
You're welcome,
or
Phil
AJ?
Gang. Let's do it.
Who's
Phil
going to be
Gang.
better?
Phil Gang, say his fucking name. Sammy
Sammy
Watkins.
Tom,
knew I
who's
was
got having
I
a better
still want.
game?
My
AJ or
defensive-
AJ?
Oh,
Which running back?
Ooh.
Jones,
I think-
because it's going to be offensive scoring.
Jonesy.
I think the correct answer would have been AJ, because
AJ.
then you
Oh,
would have.
then
Come
can't
on,
be wrong.
come on.
Yeah, sorry.
yeah,
Good
yeah,
point.
yeah,
Good
yeah.
point. Sorry.
Yeah, but I think Aaron Jones is probably the right answer as well. Did you see the quote that he said? He was like, I want both of us to be Pro Bowl running backs this year. He's like, we'll both be playing in the Pro Bowl, and then Aaron Jones like cut him off and was like, he's like, we'll be nominated, but we'll be playing in the Super Bowl. I was like, okay, there you go,
there it is.
there you
Good
go.
catch.
Yeah,
Bet move.
yeah.
Bet move.
Exactly, full vet move right there. All right, 3 guys Vikings. Tom, you might sneak away with one, or
That'd be huge.
maybe the downfall.
Or
Maybe
then,
the
and then, yeah, it
downfall.
could be just the reason I'm definitely the loser. Yeah, who knows?
We'll see.
Who
I will
knows?
say I feel a little better that 2 other guys took it for hot sauce reasoning, but we'll see how it goes. All right, next game we have the Chiefs taking on the Cardinals down in Arizona. The Cardinals are going to get 6 points at home.
No
Their
respect.
money line is plus 200. Double up your bet. And the over-under is set at 53.5.
It's a lot of points.
Tom, why don't you start us off again?
Well, I'm taking the Chiefs because I think they're once again the better team, better coach, better offense, better defense. Maybe we'll see if they made some changes this year. But I just want to point out, wow, lack of respect for the Cardinals. The line, 6 points at home. Kyler always starts the year good, so in theory this should be right. But no Hopkins, I get that. I'm still taking the Chiefs, but I think it's a little surprising for a team that was, at least beginning half of the year, one of the best in the NFC.
might be just I think that the Cardinals are just missing a bunch of players. On the defensive side, Marcus Golden is out. He was pretty much the replacement for Chandler Jones with his absence, and he's not going to be there. The secondary is banged up. Obviously, Antonio Hamilton goes down with that kind of freak injury with the cooking oil, and that just happened, I think, this week. And then also he's missing pieces on offense. Zach Ertz is going to be out. Obviously, like you said, DeAndre Hopkins not going to be there. So I'm going to take the Chiefs as well. I don't think you can bet against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid when it's looking like this.
Yeah, I am also going with the Chiefs. No big surprise there. I do like Arizona this year, but they're just in a tough division. They have a good team, but the Chiefs are just better. It will be interesting to see what Mahomes does with the new receivers, though, not having Tyreek. A lot of people are saying Juju might lead the league in receptions. Maybe not a lot of people, but I've seen a few chirps about it on Twitter. If he stays healthy, he could be a massive addition to their roster. So I'm interested to see what the new offense does and see if they still have the same explosiveness that they've had in the past with Kelsey getting a little older, Juju being on the team. Can he replace? No one's going to replace Tyreek, but can they move the ball as efficiently as they have in the past? So I'm taking the Chiefs.
I'm also taking the Chiefs. It should be a fun game. I think the Cardinals will be pretty explosive. Kyler's always good in September, but I think, myself included, we probably aren't giving the Chiefs enough credit as a juggernaut. They're pretty much they're not the new Patriots until they win multiple Super Bowls, but they're kind of that now.
Right.
And now Mahomes had 37 TDs, and it was like a bad year for him last year. It felt like a little mishmash, but I think he's going to have an MVP caliber season again. And I think it'll be interesting to watch their offense. I think he'll spread it around a lot and probably become a better quarterback not having Tyreek. So, I'm taking the Chiefs.
Deal.
There it is.
Fail Gang, appreciate you sticking around. What's up, Smitey Mouse? Welcome back into the chat. We are on the tail end of our NFL pick'ems. We got a few games left. The last game going on in the second slate that we have listed here, we got the New York Football Giants taking on the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee. The Titans are going to get 5.5 points at home. The Giants money line is plus 205. If you want to double up your bet, and the over under is at 43.5. This game is Oh no,
The one
sorry.
we won't
We
be
do
watching.
have one more to pick. We have one more to pick after this. Excuse me. But yeah, this one's gonna be a scrum. I feel
We
like
won't be seeing a lot of it, I assume, if you're watching Red Zone. This is gonna be like halftime game. It's gonna be commercial break game. That's my assumption.
Yeah, I would assume so. I'm gonna go ahead and take the home team. I'm going with the Titans. Obviously, they're just a much better team. I think the Giants have the ability to be the worst team in the AFC this year. Kind of, you have the Falcons on the other end. I think the Giants might be the worst team in the AFC this year. Or no, they're on the NFC. I'm stupid. Sorry. But I got the Giants losing to the Titans.
Give me
Yeah.
Titans. Fuck the Giants.
Yeah.
That's all I'd say.
I too am gonna go with the Titans. There's a lot. I mean, there's people talking about the Giants having all at least their skill positions back for the start. Week 1, Tony's gonna play, Saquon's back, but their offensive line is pretty banged up. The defense is pretty banged up in the front seven. I think that the Titans are just gonna come out and play a better game. Derrick Henry's
Wow.
gonna come out and probably eat, and
Yep.
Ryan Tannehill, I think, is the better quarterback. I'm not sure, but I still think the Titans are going to win this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest problem for the New York Giants is that they're just not very good. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Tennessee Titans in this one.
Fair.
That's all I really have to say.
There it is. There it is. Going forward.
Apologies for the AFC NFC mix-up. I was reading this game. We have the Raiders taking on the Chargers. The Raiders are going to get
Way better.
Yeah, much better
Way
game.
better game.
Raiders are going to get 3.5 points on the road in SoFi. And then you have the money line for them at 150, over under 52.5. I'll go ahead and start. I don't have too much to say, but the Chargers
Justin
are
Herbert?
my fucking team. So I'm
Yeah, of
taking
course.
the Chargers. The Raiders, it's going to be close. This might be the best game of the second slate, in my opinion. Could be a
100%.
fucking 100% just gunslingers going at each other. This one is going to be a lot of fun to watch. So taking Chargers though.
Yep, super stoked about this game. I think the Raiders defense is not going to be super good this year, but I'm stoked to watch their new look offense. But, this is the beginning of Herbie's MVP trail. Of course, I'm taking the Chargers.
Let's
I
go.
think they're going to look real explosive. I think he's going to throw 4 tuds week 1. Let's go.
Wow. I'm also taking the Chargers. Maybe not as hard. I think it's going to be a close game. I would not be surprised if this is a field goal at the end of the game to close it out because I think Raiders got a little fight in them, but I'm still taking the Chargers to win the game.
Yeah, I think you guys are right on. It's going to be close. AFC West is going to be fucking wild this year. What a cool way to kick it off, but give me the Chargers.
All right.
A couple
Chargers
of banger
all
games
around.
in that second
Bolt on.
slate there, dude.
Yeah.
There are,
That's a
Raiders
killer
Chargers will be
second
nice.
slate.
Packers Vikings will be great. Chiefs Cardinals could be great. And then you got
3 of
Giants,
those
Titans.
games could be Sunday Night Football, and I wouldn't be shocked. Like 3 of those games could
Yeah.
be a Monday night. I wouldn't be shocked.
They might actually be a better game than what is Sunday Night Football. So
Right? For real.
let's get into that. We got the Bucks versus the Cowboys. You got the Bucks on the
wait,
road.
Colby, really
Oh.
quick.
Oh.
Oh,
Sunday night. Oh, Sunday night. There we go. It's been a while. I almost forgot.
Pretty on pitch for our first time.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Well
I
done.
just held it
Nailed
for a
it.
while before we all found each other, Yeah, it's good.
Sorry, young Lunk. I know you're a Raiders fan. You might be disappointed in us, but we're a Chargers pod now, brother. So we
I'm
might be looking
disappointed
at them
in y'all.
in the next few weeks. All right, Sunday Night Football. We got the Bucks taking on the Cowboys in Jerry World. The Bucks are they're favorites by 2.5 points, which makes the Cowboys money line at plus 120. Over under is set at 51 points even. So, do you guys believe in Tom Brady against Dak Prescott? That is the question. I do. I'm taking the Bucks.
Yeah,
I as well. Yeah, I'm taking them the Bucks. Fuck, we're all taking the Bucks, right?
I was gonna say I'm gonna take the Bucks as well. I don't know if I believe in the over under there. I think that you might be looking at the under. There's 2 offensive lines that are pretty battered, so I think the defenses are going to be able to eat a little bit. But I still give it to I can't bet against Tom until the proof is in the data. So give me the Bucks.
I'm actually pivoting and taking the Cowboys.
Oh,
Ooh.
The reason is that Tom and Giselle's marriage is on the rocks because he chose to come back to football. I think he's not fully focused on the game, and I think it's just going to take a little while for him to mesh. Not really, though. I just think that the Cowboys are going to come out swinging. I'm kind of stoked to watch their offense this year. They're the best offense in football last year. And this was the Thursday night game last year, and it was a pretty close
Oh.
game. Yeah, so I'm taking the Cowboys in Jerry World, but yeah, that's it.
All right. I like it.
give me Tom Brady scoring the first touchdown and the last touchdown, but he's gonna it's gonna be a little middle of the game where he's gonna kind of fall apart a little bit. Still taking the Bucks though to win it all, but I think Cowboys are not gonna start very hot, and then they're gonna not be clutch. That's my guess.
All right. Fair. So you think Cowboys win maybe the second and the third quarter, but not the first and the fourth? I like it.
Exactly.
I like it. All right. That's Sunday night, boys. Now, moving on to Monday Night Football. We got the Broncos taking on the Seahawks. Oh, you ready?
That's right.
I thought we were going to end with like a ba-ba-ba-ba.
I know, yeah, we
All
should,
right,
yeah.
all right. Well, shall we do it now?
All right, I'm ready.
Yeah, of course.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Ba-da-ba.
All right. Monday night Broncos versus Seahawks. Obviously, it is the Russell Wilson revenge game. I feel like it's the only reason why this game was elevated to Monday night.
Absolutely.
The Broncos are getting they're 6.5 point favorites, which gives you the Seahawks money line at 215. The over under is 44.5. Once again, I could do a raise your hand if you're taking Seattle. Bueller. Okay. Looks like we're all going to be taking Denver. Who wants to tell me why Denver is going to win this game?
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Let's ride. Yeah, I think
Because the Seahawks are bad is my
Broncos country. That's right.
I think Russ pops off. It's a revenge game. He's in Seattle. He knows how to play there. He knows where to eat. It's going to feel like a home game, maybe even to him. And then, do you think he gets an ovation from the fans?
Oh man, I bet he does.
Probably.
He definitely will.
I would
He's too
assume.
good of a guy. Nobody hates him for leaving. I think they know that their team is not to the level that he wants his team to be. Yeah, I don't even see Seattle like they're gonna be like deflated watching him play against them. Like I don't think it's like oh fuck Russell Wilson, like let's kick this guy's ass. Like I don't know what Pete is telling those guys in the locker room, but I just don't think they're gonna be fired up at all.
And that's about it.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think they're a terrible roster. I think they're tanking for CJ Stroud or maybe another quarterback next year, Bryce Young. But yeah, I think they're going to get their shit kicked in. They're probably motivated to not. But what are you going to do with Geno Smith, a quarterback?
yeah.
They're taking for Stetson Bennett, the guy on Georgia, dude. He just looks like a Seattle guy.
Oh, okay.
Could be. He also played against the fucking Division II defense this week, so
Oh,
yeah,
Oh, no.
shot at my own team. Fuck the Ducks, dude. That was brutal. Brutal. All right, boys. That was the week 1 NFL slate. Let's go. First game on Thursday. We're going to be adding up the picks. This time next week, someone is going to be struggling with some hot sauce. So I hope you boys picked right. Maybe for my own selfish reasons, maybe hopefully not. But I think it's going to be a wonderful slate. We got a lot of games. It's going to be an absolute blast. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Kevin Broman says, with the heat affecting the power grid across the nation, do you really think they'll be able to fully charge Russell Wilson's robotic body and personality?
No way, dude.
Not going to happen. It's too goddamn hot here. It might be hot in Denver by the time they kick off there, but or in Seattle. So we shall see.
Almost
Alrighty,
9
boys.
o'clock. Still 100 degrees outside.
Brutal.
Woof.
Fucking brutal. But that's what we get for living here. All right, boys. We'll be back next week with a marathon episode. We'll be doing recaps of this week. We're going to be doing picks for week 2. Someone's going to be dying on the hot sauce. It's going to be an absolute blast. Anything to send off before we go, boys?
Yeah, man. Super stoked. NHL right around the corner. 105th
Oh, yeah.
season, baby. We're opening it October 7th. The San Jose Sharks are taking on the Nashville Predators in Prague, home of Tomac
whoa.
Turtle. Yeah, dude, it's gonna be a fun game. NHL abroad, so I'm super stoked. NHL right around the corner.
Fuck
That's
yeah.
cool and all, but it's week 1, baby. Enjoy it. Watch your fantasy teams. Obsess over what the possibilities are for your teams this season. Get nice and drunk on Sunday. Enjoy the slates. Let's go.
Let's go.
It's the ultimate fantasy season this year because you'll be able to watch live NFL football, Lord of the Rings, and Game of Thrones. All new content, all on the same Sunday. This Sunday. Let's go, dude. Fantasy to the max.
Let's go. Nerds are up right now, dude. Let's
All right.
go, baby.
And
All
Lord of the
right.
Rings is not that bad. Not that
Oh,
bad.
okay. All right. Good to know. Because Game of Thrones has been incredible.
Excellent.
Hot D.
Hot D, baby. I'll take that hot D any day of the week. All right,
There it
boys. Love you boys for being here. Everybody in the chat, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Do not forget, if you want to join the Pick'ems, it is in the chat. It is on Twitter. It is everywhere. I will be tweeting it out probably almost every day leading up until the kickoff on Thursday. So check in, join the Pick'em. It's free. It's fun. It's interactive. It's something that we can do to interact with you guys. And hell, if you have a good week, we might even call you out on the pod. We'll be reviewing standings every week. So tune in. We will see you guys next Tuesday. Love you. Bye.
Bye.